Bukedde TV Omulimisa mbatumbudde twogera ku nsonga za bulimi, twogera ku bigambo bya nkulaakulana. Tumaze ekiseera nga tukulaga emiti, ne tukulaga nursery beds, ne tukulaga ensimba, ne tukulaga banoonya ensigo n'ebifaanana bwe bityo. Naye kaakati ntambuliddeko ate Fort Portfolio mu Toro Botanical Gardens. Bano balima miti. Biri byonna bye tubadde twogerako mukola mutya n'ebirala. Ne gino emiti girimwa. Ate emiti ne girimwa mu kibuga. Ebibuga byonna eby'amaanyi ebikuze bibaamu ebibira oba bibeera mu Botanical Gardens. Botanical Gardens abasinga bwe muziwira muga nti ekifo kya kusanyukiramu kituufu, kifo kya kusanyukiramu naye ate mubeeramu ebyokuyiga bingi. Era olwaleero tugenda kuyiga ebintu bingi nnyo ebikwata ku miti nga tusinkanye omwami ono akulira ekifo kino. Tovaawo, tambula naffe. So tukwaniriza ku Bukedde akulaba ayagala okumanya amannya go n'ebyemukola wano.
Thank you. My name is Godfrey Rionga. I'm the director of Toro Botanical Gardens. Toro Botanical Gardens is located in Fort Portal, city now, in the city center, and some have referred it to an oasis of conservation amidst all these developments around.
When you talk about the director, that means the man on top.
Yes, I'm the one who directs all the programs of the garden. Yeah. Now, historically, Toro Botanical Garden started in 2004.
Godfrey Rionga yakulira Toro Botanical Garden. Twatandika mu 2004. Wano tewaali miti, baali balundirawo nsolo na kulima mmere.
Before we came here, this land belongs to NFA. It was a grazeland, communal grazeland, used by the communities around to graze their cows and grow their crops.
That way not forests.
No forest, after the forest was destroyed in 1979. So from 1979 to 2004, it was mainly a grazeland. So we got this land from NFA and...
Bwe twatandika okusimba emiti, twatandika ne nassale, ntandika okusaawo ekibira ekyali tekiriiwo. Tulina nassale mwe twali tukuliza ebika by'emiti eby'enjawulo okuva mu bibira ebitwetoolodde n'ebyo eby'ekkongo ng'essira. Tusinze kuliteeka ku miti egigenda mu bitundu ebiriraanye ennyanja Albert.
Trees in the nurseries and preparing them to come to the field. Okay. So from 2004, 2007, the nurseries were established and trees were kept in one place, a nursery, to prepare them. Then from 2007, soil planting, 2009, we had full-scale planting of trees in this forest. The garden has 4 core areas on which it's hinged. The first one is conservation. The second one is education. The third is research. And the fourth is recreation. Like I said, I'll try to break them down one by one. Begin with the first one, which is conservation. And conservation is the mother of all. Under conservation, we have tree nurseries where we mainly collect seeds and other planting materials from forests all over Uganda and East Africa, up to Congo and other places. Even outside Uganda, but mainly focusing on Albertine graben. Raise the trees in the nursery, give some to the community, plant some.
Emiti gino tugimeza ne tugiwaako abantu abatuliraanye na wano we tuli ne tuwaako n'amasomero wamu n'ekitongole ekivunaanyizibwa ku bibira NFA.
So far, under conservation, through nursery tree management, TBG owns the biggest indigenous tree nursery in Uganda.
Tuyina ebika by'emiti ebiwerera 154 era ffe tusinga okuba n'ebika by'emiti eby'enjawulo mu ggwanga.
In this country.
So all your nurseries are here or you have other nurseries around the country?
The mother nursery is actually here where you are in Fort Portal, but we have since established other nurseries in other parts of this country to represent different agroecological zones.
Enkola eno tugitutte ne mu bitundu ebirala eby'enjawulo mu ggwanga ebyewala nga Mbaale, Mpigi, Ibanda ne Kagadi.
We have a nursery in Ibanda that takes care of the Ankole region. We have a nursery in Kagadi that takes care of the oil belt, the Bunyoro region. Okay. Now, these nurseries raise trees.
Emiti gye tutuusa mu bitundu bino gye gisangibwa mu bitundu ebyo gye tugitwala.
Those agroecological zones of Uganda. The garden tries or is categorized in different ecosystems. As you move down, you realize we are trying where we are now. It's a forest ecosystem. We have the wetland ecosystem somewhere down near the nursery. We have the alpine. We try to create alpine ecosystem. Then we have the grassland. All these are created to mimic how they appear outside this area within Uganda. And that will lead us to how they will be used in education. Under conservation again, we have a herbarium. Herbarium, we collect dead plant specimens that are used as reference points. When we collect from the forests in Uganda and beyond, we get voter specimens that we keep in the herbarium. So for conservationists to get a reference point, they get the data from the herbarium. We also created what we call the first Ugandan plant database, mainly emphasizing a tree database. So if you want to know where to get, for example, Kaya Anthotheca in Uganda, you come to our database, pay some little money, we can show you where it is, and you reach there in no minute.
That database can be accessed online?
Yes, it can be accessed online, but though you pay a small fee to the garden because the garden has survived.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the other part of conservation we're doing is this arboretum where we are, and in the arboretum we try to have all trees of Uganda in one.
Tuyinawo ebibira omuva eddagala, eby'ensozi, eby'entobazi, nga bino biyamba okugezesa okunoonyereza.
8 days to see all the trees of Uganda if you drive around all the forests and districts of Uganda. So for researchers that want a one-stop center to come and study the trees of Uganda, plants of Uganda, who used to take 28 days to move around, now it's just one day, you have it all in one place. So we call this one a one-stop conservation hotspot of this country. The second area which we do in TBG is education. Yes. And education is hinged on conservation. Under education, we mainly look at biodiversity education, teaching people on conservation.
Tusomesa ebyetaagisa okumanyibwa okukuuma ku bibira n'emiti ginnaasangwa. Tusomesa abantu ebikwata ku nkozesa y'ebibira n'emiti nga tegitemeddwa, nga kino kiyambye okuzzaawo ebibira bino.
Conservation through education. We look at things like practical plant use. We look at things like practical plant systematics, plant conservation in general, and biodiversity conservation within this area, but covering all the parts of Uganda. We have 4 categories of people, of education programs we have here. The first category is what covers the community. That's our key. Yes. Communities use plants for different things, but here we teach them how to use them better for medicine, for herbs and spices, for craft materials, timber and non-timber forest products. All those can be covered in this place.
So how have the community responded?
Well, the community have responded well. Initially, I must say it wasn't that so good because they thought we were taking away their rights of using this place and they fought back. But we understood that situation. We had to sit down with them, employed them in here and made them part and parcel of the garden. We told them this is your garden. And as I talk now, we don't have any problem with our communities because each family around here has someone employed in here. They collect firewood from this same place. They collect herbs for medicine in this place. They collect craft material from this place. So it was a matter of them understanding what we have come to do, and it's theirs and ours. Yeah. The second category of education we hold here.
There are some community members who have embarked in planting trees.
Sure.
In their own forests.
Sure. Actually, community members are given free trees here. Initially, they used to steal the trees we planted in the garden. Tell them, no, don't need to steal ours. If you want any tree, come for free. We shall give for free and even teach you on how to plant them. So quite a number have planted in their own gardens, in agroforestry system, in pure stands of trees and other plants. Okay. Yeah. So the second category under education is what we call pre-secondary or primary, the younger ones. Yes. Those ones have their own package where they learn through games in the forest in here, down at the wetlands.
Tusomesa abaana abato okwagala okukuuma ebibira.
And these ones are taught mainly how to love nature, respect plants, and use plants to play games, use plants to study, use plants for all purposes of life. And they are taught the value of plants and how plants and man can coexist and help each other. That category, these are the school going, of course. They come in usually P7 and P6, spend a whole day here to cover the syllabus that's well prepared for them. The third category is secondary schools. Now, the secondary schools and tertiary institutions, those of course are more specific. We look at biology and geography students and those who are doing botany in tertiary institutions.
Tusomesa n'abakulu mu bibiina ebyenjawulo saako n'abo abasoma ku kunoonyereza okumala ebbanga eggere.
Mainly to study agriculture, to study biology, to study plant science in general. While those in universities, usually they are students who are doing degrees in conservation education, degrees in ethnobotany, and degrees in biodiversity conservation. And those of tourism, of course, are not left aside. So these groups come here particularly to do their internship for a day or two, but some stay longer for a month. Some set up their own research projects in this place, which they later follow up as the special projects to do their masters, their bachelors, and other degrees. When you move around, you see some trees that are tagged with different numbers, some plots marked out. Those are research plots for either PhD or masters or other sorts of studies. The last category under education, the fourth one, these are pure researchers. These are mainly university researchers or others from research institutions that come to detailed analysis of plant and ecology. We have agroecology researchers, we have plant systematic researchers, we have plant taxonomists in here, we have those who look at the plant-animal interaction, and ethnobotany, which is the core of this garden. So those ones are more advanced, and they can have research going from 1 year to 10 years. We have some which are set up plots here to be studied for 10 years, 15 years, and above. And that's the last category of education that we have in this place.